What's up, guys? Welcome back to Team Solemn Circus Live. Telling you left side here with Memento. This is the pure variant of the deck going up against Ryzeal Heretic. This is going to be the deck that's trying to rip your hand. Make sure you just don't have anything that be able to activate here. One of the most powerful decks in the current format. You know, Ryzeal just being a very powerful engine. We are going to be seeing the Ryzeal deck end with the die roll here. Going to be very hard for the Memento player to end up kind of winning this here. We do see a Prelia drop in the draw phase, one of the better cards against the Ryzeal deck completely. You know, they want to summon from the hand quite a bit, so potentially stopping that is going to be quite useful. You know, good luck hand ripping us when we're drawing every single time you actually summon from the hand here. We are going to be seeing a 7th Ascension, going to one of the combo pieces, searching for the 7th Ascension here, or wherever, the 7th, search for the 7th. We all know how this goes. It gives us access to a bunch of different cards. Now, what's really cool about this is that you actually have the ability to search for some of the erratic monsters as well with this, but we do have the ability to search for the X if we don't already have it in the hand, but I do believe we already have X in the hand there, so trying to maybe go for Ice. Ice can give us the ability to kind of summon another body, giving them only one draw Prelia for that normal summon. We're going to be going for the X first instead, dumping the erratic card here, then we're going to get that draw off of the Prelia here. Now we're going to go for Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, giving us the ability to dump 2 erratic monsters from the extra or from the deck here, because that erratic card did hit the extra from the extra deck to the graveyard there. I think just if it was sent to the graveyard, which is kind of pretty broken, you know, when you think about it. Dumping 2 erratic monsters from the deck, and then we're gonna be able to add one as well, being the Whale, which is a reborn, I believe, in the graveyard, and then we also add a sword. Now we are gonna go for the 7th, revealing the 104 Masquerade, letting us search for the Ice Ryzeal here. Is going to say it's either X or Ice, and we already have the X, so we might as well go for that Ice there. And then we put one random card on the top of our deck. Now we can proceed to normal summon a Whale, activating the effect, allowing us to dump. And then we do get to add here 2, and they do hit a Fua there. So, you know, if we do touch that extra deck, we will be drawing cards as well. Now, we have added multiple cards to our hand, but will it be enough, unfortunately? It doesn't look like we have that many hand traps. We have a Talents, though, so we can potentially look at the combo. After we combo off, we can maybe go for a Detonator and then try to go for, like, just to hand rip them. But like, they do have so much follow-up here. I feel like it'd be pretty safe to go for that Detonator. We're going to be seeing the Talents hand rip now, and we do see an Acheron, a Goblin, a Sleepy, a Cobble the Grave, and a Droplets. So this is going to be full combo as well as stopping a hand trap there, because we have the normal summon of Goblin effect, and then we have, of course, the, you know, no matter what you hit, you kind of have to hit the Goblin. They're still going to get draws. You know, so there's going to be passing turn on this there. Scooping up completely. I mean, yeah, we don't even put back. You definitely have to put back the Goblin. But even if you don't put back Goblin, you know, you have the normal summon of Sleepy, Sleep Activate Fuse with the Acheron in itself. And then you have to go up into, you can stop one hand trap there. I suppose that, you know, if we make like Detonator, Detonator will be pretty decent. But then you go like Droplets, target the Detonator. They're still going to get 2 draws, 1 for turn, 1 for off of the Fua. So, like, I guess it's going to be kind of difficult to kind of play through it. And even if you do get like that, you get to pop. I don't really know. Yeah, it is kind of difficult because then you can, like, chain Droplets, sending the Acheron. Acheron's in graveyard, so it sees the Sleepy being popped. Sleepy will then dump, and you get Acheron summon stuff out, and then you can dump the Fusion Spell. Fusion Spell can activate it, then you have, like, they have to have another hand trap. And, like, I don't know. I definitely think it would be very difficult for us to kind of win that game there in the Ryzeal hand. So we do see Memento end up winning the duel with just activating, or winning that game there with only activating 2 cards, one being a Fua and one being a Prelia. And that's the power of those multi-armor cards being absolutely just broken. And when you look at their hand, you're like, oh my god, this is going to be all the problems. And they just can't beat that there. We didn't see any hand traps on their side either, so, you know, if we gave them multiple draws, we would just be losing to, like, the Acheron battle effect, which is pretty nice. Now, we can't really hand rip them, so, like, we have a bunch of the Heretic stuff that is not going to do very much. Potentially, we could have maybe gone for, like, a Bavuska line if we are playing it there, with, like, the detonator, but I still don't think it would be enough. You know, maybe push for duo drive, and then you're giving them so many different draws that like surely they're able to beat you, especially with having the like the cross or the droplets in the hand, being able to just air that detonator almost instantly by dumping the Akiron just completely safely. Would be absolutely just a play there. Now we are going to be seeing the Ryzeal deck, going to be choosing to go first once again. Now will we get to actually give Memento a turn here? Or will they just scoop it up once again in that game too? No Pirellia in the draw phase, which is going to be a very good sign. But we are thinking here, so perhaps, you know, not having the best hand or wanting to play around some of those hand traps. You know, we are a very heavy Memento hand trap deck if you're looking at like a pure variant. We do see an also on ice actually the effect no Fool is being dropped either, which means that they do not have it there. We're going to be seeing the Sword going to be searched or summoned out here, and Sword's and searching for the X. They kind of all get into themselves. And then we are going to be seeing, I feel like the safe line is to go for the duo drive here perhaps, but we have user normal, which means Whale will not be able to be a normal summon. But we're going to summon out the X first now, and X is going to be dumping the Erratic XYZ once again. Then we're going to be seeing both the effects there. We're going to add the Node alongside dumping the Chicken as well as the Leo here. And then we are going to be adding another one of the chickens to the hand. Last time we added the Leo to the hand, I believe. So maybe we already have one in the hand, or this is like the better version against Memento. I'm not exactly sure. I do want to say this is the finals match of our previous locals. So they do know each other is on. Therefore, you know, we might see some different plays being made prior to that. But we have lots of cards in the hand here, and it looks like a Talent once again is in that hand. But no hand traps coming from the Memento side at all. We're going to see a Cross going to be activated now. And we can go up into the duo drive. But there's no Ryzeal named in the graveyard just yet. Take some time to think about it here. Now we are going to commit to an XYZ summon, going up into that duo drive. Duo drive has nothing to attach, but we can have the effect to detach to search. We're searching for a plugin as well as a Star Ryzeal, perhaps, if we are playing it. We are playing no search for ice here, okay. So we are still playing the plugin to the deck, which is interesting. I mean, it is going to be essentially another extender, but now, I believe we are going to be in the Nib territory very soon here. If we have no way to summon out kind of a negate here, which is going to be kind of interesting. Now, we summon out the Node, and we already had that in the hand. Now, what's cool with Node is Node can actually send like the Whale that we have in the hand here to summon itself, or to summon out another one from the graveyard here. And this is going to actually allow the Whale now to activate its effects in the graveyard without having the normal summon out in the first place here. You know, if we do have the two Erratic monsters in the graveyard with the same name, we can summon them both out. And that's essentially just going to be a free XYZ material, which is pretty nice. Now we're going to go up into a triple. This has to be the hand rip here. Now we are going to rip one of those cards in the hand, over in the middle one there, which is going to be a Droplets. Pretty nice card, if I do recall. Especially against this board here. You know, this board is very difficult to kind of beat if you just don't open up one of those board breakers there. Now we are going to go for the Cross effect, putting back 2 to draw 1. And so we drew into a purple card there, being the Trap Solemn Judgment, a very good card against the entire Memento deck. We are going to now go up into an Evil Twin here. We go Ice, Send, and that's going to be able to bring back out. And then we activate the effects once again to hand rip. And we do hand rip the Memento Fusion, one of the cards you do not want to see in the graveyard, but potentially stopping them from having it in the hand could also be beneficial as well if they had multiple of those Memento monsters in the hand there to kind of like dodge those hand traps. But in this case, not what we're looking for. We don't want that card in the graveyard at all. Now we are looking in the graveyard to see what we can kind of continue going for. We do have Imperm Judgment, which is going to be pretty good. We have a talent, so we want to activate as well. And so they do have a Goblin, a Attached no Shigo, as well as Field Spell in the hand there. We're going to go for Plug-in now. Plug-in will be able to bring back out. And then we go up into a Detonator here. And Detonator will be able to attach. The twin there from the graveyard to itself, which means we will get another bring back during our opponent's turn here. We'll be able to pick the hand rip, but it's still going to be pretty good, decent here. Now we do see the chicken going to send the Leo to summon itself out. I didn't know it could do that. I honestly don't know these cards very well, but we are now going to be using the whale, summoning back 2 of the Leos, and we are locked into using the Heretics as XYZ material now, which is important to note that we have to use the Ryzeal cards prior to using this. Now, what's really cool about the chicken there is that it can be used as 2 materials for a Heretic that takes 3 or more. Now we go up into the Herald 69 Crest. Now this one, while it doesn't hand rip, it does destroy a monster on the field, as well as being able to upgrade into the demolition, and then it does negate that effect as well. You know, it turns stuff into unknown. This is very good against Memento, because now the cards aren't going to be Memento monsters, are going to be unknowns. You also negate the unknown effects, which is kind of a very cool way to kind of play a deck. You know, I do enjoy how it just like erases things, which is kind of cool. I think it's like an anime type thing. I don't exactly know, but we're going to go Attach no Shigo effect, summon itself out, and they do draw into a fusion there. So we could potentially see that being used in the hand to kind of dodge this unknown type shenanigans there. But we are going to summon up the Attach no Shigo, and we do still have Detonator able to pop. We have the Judgment as well as an Imperm. There is lots of stuff here. We should not be losing this game altogether. But, you know, with one special summon already down, you know, we can go for the effect now. They're going to activate, and they are going to chain the Shatter Stream, which is going to then let us summon out the Demolition as well as destroy that opponent's monster here. So getting rid of both cards is pretty nice. But they are, yeah, they're saying they're going to destroy that one there. And then they could chain the fusion, but the fusion will get negated by Judgment. Which we are going to be seeing there. And I'm going to take a second to read the fusion. Now, what we can just do here is just Judgment the fusion completely. And then on the normal summon, like, we can just Imperm it, which is better play. And if they just continue with like the fusion effect in the graveyard, we can just chain the Detonator, pop the card on the field. That way they have one card left in the hand that is unknown. But we just don't want them to fuse, which is the important part there. They do take a second to read the Twin Dragon there because they know their opponent's playing. And obviously you're playing Twin Dragon. You're going to need to pull up on Neuron, or your opponent can just pass you the card. We saw the same thing happen with the Dark Matter Demolition there. You know, just be good to your opponent. We're going to see them Judgment that fusion. I think that's definitely a good call here in this case. And then we are going to be seeing the Demolition being summoned, and then we're going to be destroying that target Attach no Shigo here. Now that's with 2 cards left in the hand, and we do have a negate, a destruction, as well as an Imperm here. And the game is going to be essentially over for Memento. And one of those cards being a brick. Now they do have the fusion in the graveyard, but Goblin's not going to be able to be enough here in this case. We might see a potential Typhon angle maybe as well. You know, if we can also note that. Try to go for Typhon there, the Imperm. We're going to go for the Goblin here, summoning itself out. And then the other thing on this because it's kind of difficult. Now we do have the negate of the cross as well. So we're going to see that Typhon being slapped down immediately. Now, did we just imperm the... We're going to see Typhon effect can activate there to try to bounce back. We're going to negate that with the cross. So we're going to see the twin effect can activate, bringing out that duo drive. And we also see Memento scoop it up there, realizing the game is going to be lost. There's nothing they can do about it. I mean, yeah, that definitely is going to be rough. You know, we had enough game on board as well for the next turn. I mean, Goblin Effects chain, there was no real winning for Memento there, to be honest. Like, there's nothing we could have done differently. Just kind of unfortunate that they had everything that they definitely needed. But they did scoop game one, so, you know, you can win some and you lose some. But it's always going to come back to, like, what the draw is, right? You know, skill expression is obviously a very important factor in Yu-Gi-Oh! But sometimes there's just nothing you absolutely can do to kind of stop it there. You know, we saw, like, you know, just getting sacked, or just, you know, opening up just way better and seeing some of those better cards. Like Droplets being a very crazy card. We did hit that Fusion in the graveyard, which was pretty nice, but having the Judgment as well to stop that off that cross draw was crazy. And then of Talents in the hand. We didn't activate any hand traps, so we weren't able to rip another card from their hand and have that hand knowledge or that potential draw too, but still providing itself very useful here. But moving on to the all-important Game 3, we are going to be seeing Memento able to finally go first here. We have not seen them actually play many cards. You know, we did see them kind of, every one of the cards they played got negated there, or didn't even play a card in Game 1. They'll finally be able to set up the board that they actually want to see, compared to breaking the board or just, you know, having your opponent scoop on you once you see the crazy cards you have in the hand. But Memento does have a very good board. Now, Ryzeal does have obviously lots of hand traps to kind of combat that. Now, I think some of the hand traps are replaced by those Heroic monsters at the same time, but the Heroic monsters are pretty nice themselves. I'm assuming that going second, you kind of cut down on them as well to play more of those hand traps or more of those Mulch Army cards, which do provide to be quite useful in Memento strategy. You know, dropping a Prelia or a Fua on the Bone Party or the normal summon can be quite beneficial here. Now, we are going to be seeing a normal summon of a Goblin. We'll dump two of the monsters here, or two Memento cards. Opening up one of the worst starters. Now, we do have this as full combo, but it's not honestly the best. And they also have Field Spell in the hand here, which isn't the greatest either, but we're going to go for the summon out of the Gaddock. Gaddock will add back that fusion that we did dump off the Goblin. Obviously, the Anguish is going to be a better one. And the reason why I think that Geek Goblin is one of the worst starters in the deck now, even though it is going to be a starter card, is because, you know, we also have the Goblin cards in the deck that summons out to dodge those imperm and stuff like that. So we are going to be seeing them go for the Twin Blade here. Twin Blade is going to activate the effect, allowing us to destroy and search for two here. And this is where I definitely think that we should have activated the Field Spell prior to doing this, so that we could actually bring one out off the Twin Dragon here. But we're going to be seeing the Tatsumshigu as well as the... I don't actually know what they added, like maybe the Sleepy to the hand here. Definitely would have been a better one. Then we're going to see the Twin Dragon bring back out that copy of Gaddock. And then we're going to go for the Tatsumshigu, summon itself out, then we're going to activate the effect. And the dumps here aren't going to be that great now, which is kind of important. You know, we can dump maybe like Anguish, Mace, but just choosing to dump the Akiron there. Now, once again, we should have had the Field Spell on the field already. This. Now, we are going to go for the Sleepy effect. Sleepy is going to be summoning out and using itself Goblin and I don't know what the last card did, the Gaddock there. And we're going to dump all three here, dumping the Anguish and the Combined Creation as well as the copy of Hornblade here. Now we are going to go for the Fusion effect to destroy a card on the field, which is going to be the Fusion. Then we're going to go for the effect of a Akiron. We also search for Bone Party there, as well as the Field Spell summoning itself. So we're going to be summoning out the Anguish as well as a Akiron here. We're going for the Hornblade instead, and then we're going to see the Akiron. Now we can go Bone Party, destroy the Akiron, which can then add back the Fusion that we did banish, and we're going to be summoning or searching for a Mace there. We could have summoned out the Anguish, searching for Mace to get additional pop as well. You know, no reason to just add it to the hand there. But we're going to be putting back 5 to summon out. Okay, we make sure that we do. I was saying, why are we keeping twin? Well, they wanted to keep the big one there. Yeah, there's no reason to not summon out the Anguish because we have an additional pop with that there. We set 2 cards, and then we are going to be seeing the Bone Party get reset during the end phase off of that off that field spell here. Now we have the Akiron still, which is able to summon back out, and we have like the we also have, you know, the ability to bring out that combined creation off of, or the Creation King off the combined creation there. And then we have Bone Party as well to destroy. We have multiple layers of interaction here, which is going to be pretty important. Now, Evenly Matched is going to be a very good card against this, but I have a feeling we're not going to be seeing Evenly in this deck. We are going to go for the 7th now. It's going to allow us to search for that 7th Tachyon here. And then we do reveal that it's in there somewhere. We are running pretty close to time here, and they do not want to go for those time rules. You know, they already know what they're playing. They're going to be revealing the Masquerade. It's going to be fine here, and they're thinking it's going to be fine, but they're going to be hashing it here. Okay. Now, it is putting back 1 card as well, so I definitely think that I would personally would not ash that. But we're going to see an also ice activating the effect, and now we do have a Mace as a Snatch Deal as well. So if we're counting the interactions, we have Mace, Snatch Deal. We have Combined Creation, bringing back the Creation King, and pop a card, or pop numerous card on the field. Now, I would have left the Anguish on the field for that reason. That way we would have had an additional pop. You know, popping 2 of the cards is obviously going to be nice. We also have Bone Party, which can destroy the Horn Dragon, which can then bring back more cards, or pop 2 more cards as well here, and then summon from the deck. So lots of different options. And then we do see the X being summoned off the ice search, or X search for sword, and now we have another extender in this case. Now we are going to go for Bone Party, destroying the Horn Dragon. Now we go for the Sleepy, as well as the Horn Dragon, and the Akiron is going to activate. And when we're seeing the Sleepy destroy, it's not, Sleepy is not actually activated on the field at all. It's going to be Sleepy dumping, which is going to activate, and then we're going to be seeing them pop 2 over the Horn Dragon there. Now we have someone with the sword here, and sword can activate the effect. And we are going to droplet send the Akiron there to negate that sword. Maybe so that we just have to have another body to kind of extend. And they're down to only 4 cards in their hand. So yeah, we do just see them scoop it up there, realizing the game's going to be lost. Now they have the node, but there's no way to summon out an X by Z, so we can't even get there. We haven't even summoned back out the Creation King with that, and we're going to be seeing Memento end up taking it there with the Snatch Shield and everything else. Honestly, not the ending I was looking for. Memento winning game 1 by not using any of their cards themselves, and then going into game 3, not what I was expecting, but we do see the power of pure Memento there. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.